Mexico. You're watching KOB4 News at 6:30.
And we start off here at 6:30 with that massive announcement about Expo New Mexico.
Governor Michelle Lujan Grisham, along with other city and state leaders, announced they want to redevelop the state fairgrounds into something more beneficial for the nearby community.
And that's partly because they believe a redevelopment project could really spark some new growth in the surrounding neighborhoods. But State Fair commissioners suggested there was already a healthy appetite to move the state fair somewhere else.
We have outgrown the facilities and the property here. It is time to look at the growth of this fair to continue to be the best fair in the country.
Our Griffin Rushton caught up with the people who use Expo New Mexico's 4-H facilities each and every year to talk about this recent announcement. And Griffin, kind of sounds like there's sort of a mixed reaction tonight.
Yeah, there sure is, Trevor. It seems some folks do agree it is time to build bigger and better 4-H facilities for the fair's agriculture competitions, but others believe that the existing facilities are just fine, and they believe that moving the state fair out of Albuquerque, well, it defeats the point of having a state fair.
I met personally with many of the 4-H and ag groups who are really ready for a restart and a refresh.
At least one 4-H volunteer from Truth or Consequences agrees.
I think that ultimately this is the right move for the state.
Ava Rebecca Bartu says her family makes the trip to Albuquerque every year for the state fair.
We show cattle, heifers and steers, and we stay in the dorms.
And she'll tell you it's close quarters for the people and the animals.
We are jam-packed in there. And, you know, we have to park our horse trailers like 5 blocks away. So definite growing pains.
However, some folks believe Expo New Mexico's ag facilities are grade A prime.
The people like it, the exhibitors like it, the livestock enjoy it, and they just redid a whole pig barn that hadn't been done since they built it, granted. But they keep up those facilities great.
So the idea of tearing all this down and building a new state fairground somewhere else just doesn't sit right with the president of the New Mexico Cattle Growers Association.
I'm a little bit disappointed that they see dollar signs instead of trying to keep agriculture to urban America.
Bronson Korn says the state fair is often the only opportunity for New Mexicans who live in cities to experience agriculture up close. And he believes that's why Expo New Mexico is where it is.
It's a learning experience for a lot of the people that come through there that never get to experience agriculture. That is where they know about agriculture. And I think that if we take that away from the urban area, I think it's going to put us all at a disadvantage.
Bartu says she would support building a new state fairgrounds outside of Bernalillo County, but insists there must be some type of state fair in the meantime.
It's critical and important because agriculture's life, and the New Mexico State Fair offers an opportunity for those families to come show their hard work, their pride and joy. They're the best of the best.
The state's bid to redevelop the state fairgrounds went live this morning, so don't expect any final decisions about what could possibly happen here at Expo New Mexico or where a new state fairgrounds could potentially go for at least several months. What we can tell you is that the 2025 state fair is still expected to go on as scheduled here at Expo New Mexico. Tessa, Trevor?
Yeah, we should be waiting for, like you said, several months at least, you would imagine, because I got all those questions to figure out. Griffin, thank you so much for following that story the past couple of days. Well, as Griffin was talking about, one of the biggest questions all of us have after this announcement is what happens to the state fair. And for now, as Griffin talked about, the fair itself will remain in its usual home at least for next year. But what happens after that? Well, Mayor Tim Keller says one of his top priorities is to keep the state fair here in Albuquerque. In a statement from his office, Keller mentioned a few possible ideas, including Mesa del Sol, the Double Eagle Airport, or perhaps the Westside Sports Complex. And the mayor also floated the idea of just keeping it at its current location, even mentioning Balloon Fiesta Park as well. But it's clear the fair staying in Albuquerque is in no way guaranteed. And yesterday, the governor mentioned her own ideas outside of the metro.
Imagine, if you will, that Valencia County could offer up some interesting proposals. That the South Valley, right here in Bernalillo County ought to think about where would a new developed platform and space be. Maybe Torrance County, maybe Edgewood and Santa Fe.
I love the State Fair. I hope it stays in Albuquerque. That's one thing. We know we have land on the west side that would be great for the State Fair. We know we have the Balloon Fiesta. That land certainly makes sense, actually bigger than the fairgrounds.
The governor and other state leaders say there are already conversations about where a new state fairgrounds might go. She says they've already decided it needs to at least be close to the center of the state. And the governor says she also wants state lawmakers and the State Fair Commission to lead those future conversations.